Yo, what is going on today, guys? Back here for another video. And I've seen a lot of people talking about how much they hate Giratina Darkrai and they think the deck is very cringe. And while I don't disagree and think the deck is annoying to fight, I do want to say I actually think the Shiny Revelry meta is in a way better spot than a Triumphant Light. And that's because this meta is actually not dominated just by one singular deck. Don't get me wrong, Giratina Darkrai is definitely the most played deck. I mean, we even have the data here. The unfortunate thing about Limitless right now is people are just playing tournaments less because of rank, so the data isn't truly accurate, but we still have the big tournaments, and obviously in the big tournaments people are still playing, so we have those datas. And also I just have data from getting top 500 and ranked, so I'm going to use this data and then just my own personal experience. But Giratina Darkrai, 15% of the people are playing, basically that's just rounded up. Obviously, you know, you usually round it down, but like 15% of people are playing Giratina Darkrai, 10% of people are playing Gyarados, 8% Gallade, 7% Giratina Mewtwo, 6% on Dalga Arceus, then stuff like Charizard and Rampardos and Meowscarada is going at like 3% of Darkrai Weavile. But if we look at something like Triumphant Light, for example, we literally had Giratina, or not Giratina, but we had Arceus Dalga at a 20%, Rampardos at a 9%, basically 10, Articuno at the 5%, but like the only high tier deck basically besides like Gyarados and Palkia that was rising up at this at the very like last week or like last 2 weeks, but obviously, you know, the meta changed. But then we had stuff like Leafeon, Celebi, Gallade. Gallade was literally only played because it was good against Arceus. Other matchups was kind of rough, bro, because Red didn't exist back then. But then we had like Palkias, Darkrai Weaviles, all like 3% and under. So just right off the bat, just looking at the tournament data, you can already tell there's way less decks that were actually playable. Like obviously a lot of people still played these decks because they were fun, but like Dalga Arceus was literally just the most played deck, and it was so dominant that other decks couldn't compete because of this deck. Like some for like Charizard actually very fantastic because of, you know, one shots both Dalga and Arceus, but because they played Dalga, they ramp up a Mew that basically invalidates Charizard from the meta, because dude, 20% of the people are playing Dalga. That means Charizard is going to be running into these Mews 24/7 almost in tournaments, and let they get the most extremely lucky path, and all it takes, dude, is one Mew in the back and then the Charizard can't go in, because Arceus can pretty easily knock out a Moltres, bro. Let's just be real. So the really only counterplay, bro, we had to Dalga Arceus during this meta was literally Rampardos and Gallade. Then we had some decks that did all right against it, like Gyarados was creeping up, like I said at the end. We had Palkia, which did all right if you actually had like the God position going second mana fee. But like overall, man, like Dalga Arceus, bro, was just uncounted. Like it was so dominant. It literally only really cared about Rampardos as something that was like kind of like scary to go against. Where we go back to Shining Revelry, man, and I have played Giratina and Darkrai a lot. I played it all the way up to Master Ball once I hit Ultra 4, and then I actually went in a 16-3 run when I first got in the Masters, getting to the top 500 spot with Darkrai Giratina, and it is the best deck in the game. But dude, if you run into a Gyarados, you could definitely lose. That matchup is actually pretty hard unless you have the right cards in the right situations, and obviously, you know, depending on if the Gyarados player bricks. You had Gyarados, which is pretty bad. The Meowscarada variants, bro, are not that much better. Honestly, that's probably the worst matchup for it. And then stuff like Charizard, bro, like if they can get the Charizard right away, and like same like Gyarados, if we don't have like their perfect situation with like another Darkrai in the back, the Rocky helmet on the active spot, and then a red, you're cooked. But then they can just put a giant cape on that Charizard, bro, and then you're just not beating it. So just from playing around in ranked, dude, I haven't obviously entered too many tournaments because I've just been focusing on ranked, and I mean a lot of people are too. I've actually found out a lot of the grassroots tournaments are just they don't exist anymore because nobody are playing. I went to go sign up to a couple of them I used to play, and like they just like don't exist, bro. They have like 20 entrants too when they used to get like 200. So I'm very actually sad about that. That actually really sucks. But yeah, just from playing ranked and being a Master Ball, bro, like top 5,000 in the top 500 range. Yeah, Giratina and Darkrai is the most represented deck. Every card game is gonna have has the best deck, but like I don't think this is as bad as Arceus Dalga was back in, like I said, Triumphant Light, because there's counterplay. There's literally counterplay to Darkrai. Like it's not a guaranteed win just by playing the deck. We're like the only real opposition for Arceus was literally Rampardos, and then you had the occasional Gallades. But like Gallade, like I said, Gallade wasn't as good against these other decks as it is now in this meta because it didn't have the addition of red, bro. So it can get the one shots of Gallade. Gallade needed that extra 20 damage from red to truly be like a top 10 deck that it is now. And like just even like looking at this data, bro, like for example, like Arceus Carnivine, bro, extremely good in ranked right now, and it's pretty low in tournament play. But like in ranked, bro, I definitely think it's like a top 5, top 6 deck in Master Ball, just because Carnivine is pretty good in the Gyarados matchup, which Gyarados is like the second most played deck, even in Limitless it says that too. And then Arceus can be pretty good against Giratina, because if they attack and they don't have a giant cape, Arceus can get the guaranteed knockout as long as you have a full bench or 2 things on the bench and a red. And then stuff like Charizard is good. Arceus, you still see different variants. The most common Arceus variant, I really don't see Dalga Arceus anymore. I truly just see like Giratina Darkrai Arceus. But like I don't think Dalga Arceus is bad. I just don't think people are playing it as much. Skarmory's pretty good on ranked. Rampardos, you do see a lot of Rampardos here and there. But stuff like Elade, it doesn't really exist in Master Ball as much anymore, just because Giratina and Darkrai kind of can destroy the deck unless you have like a perfect situation of Gallade. Yeah, but dude, I'm like looking at the meta and I'm just like thinking, bro, like all the way down so like 17, I think these are all competent decks that you literally could play. Maybe like Darkrai Greninja is a little iffy compared to these other ones. Maybe I'll put this at the bottom, but like I think 17 and up, dude, are extremely playable and you could do good in Master Ball ranked with these decks. But if I go like look at something like Triumphant Light, I literally look, okay, anything below Articuno, bro, kind of washed. I literally think so. Like Gyarados is all like that. Gyarados, like I said, was rising up. I think Gyarados is actually pretty decent, and Palkia. But at the same time, dude, I just like, dude, just Darga Arceus, bro. Like you definitely, if you go second, Darga Arceus, you knock out the Manaphy, probably Sabrina the Gyarados in before it's fully set up, and then you 2-tap it, bro. Because unless that Gyarados had a Rocky Helmet on him, man. Red didn't exist yet. The max damage you could do was 150, so you couldn't actually one-shot the Arceus with a giant cape. So you basically had to have a Rocky Helmet, but at the same time, you could just knock out the Manaphy of 2 attacks from Dalga and just set some stuff up. Yeah, so I legit just wanted to basically talk about the meta, because I see a lot of people actually complaining about the meta, bro, but I actually like legit think it's in a solid spot. I'm not trying to glaze the game. I'm not trying to give you guys a fake opinion or like a false opinion just because I want to, I don't know, man, just seem like I enjoyed the game. I genuinely enjoyed the game. I really do think it's in a very good spot. I think the meta is actually very solid. Like I said, Giratina Darkrai is annoying to play against, I won't lie, and it's also not the easiest deck to play. I used to think it was easy, bro, but now like actually people are going to get against the matchup, bro, so it's kind of getting more difficult to play. Like one energy mess up and you can literally just lose in the mirror match. So I just don't think it's the easiest deck to play. So I feel like people are getting annoyed by it, bro, because they might not want to play it because it's kind of difficult. Where other people are just playing it because it's the best deck, bro, and they just get better, and then it's definitely annoying. Like I won't lie, bro, I play ranked, I play against like 10 Giratina Darkrai's. I don't mind playing against that, bro. I actually get more annoyed playing Gyarados personally than Giratina Darkrai at this point, because Gyarados, bro, is a demon, man. Like depending on what deck you're playing, bro, if Gyarados gets set up, bro, sometimes you just can't win. Like like at least the decks I've been playing, because like I've just been playing other decks, bro. Like if I play like Carnivine or Skarmory, man, I just never start with those against the Gyarados matchup specifically, so I can never knock out the Manaphy, bro, like right away, and they just like ramp up Gyarados and just destroy me. But yeah, like I don't know, I just wanted to make this video, show you guys some data, bro. Like I don't think Giratina Darkrai is a problem. I don't think this meta is a problem. I think this meta is in a very solid position, and I'm very happy, bro. I kind of hope the new set doesn't ruin it, because the last time we had a meta this good, in my opinion, I love the space-time meta. I think the space-time meta was great. I think at the end, Executor Celebi was ruining it because everybody was just playing it. But like before, like the last 2 weeks when everyone wasn't playing Executor Celebi, I think the meta was perfect. Like, yeah, there was Dark Zone. That was definitely not the most fun to play with, bro, but there was a variety of that. There was Greninja Darkrai. There was Skarmory Magnezone. There was like the Hitmonlee Magnezone deck. I mean, we can even just go look at it, bro. There was Charizard. I've actually forgot Charizard was like a play. There was Palkia. There was Darkrai Revolve, bro. There was a Yon Mega Dogger, bro. There's a lot of cool decks that was played. And even Rampardos, bro. Like Rampardos and Space Time actually won the Ursies. Like it won like the 1,000-person tournament. Like, and they didn't even have Sudowoodo yet. Like, and it wasn't even the best meta for them. It was just a very solid format where like a lot of things were balanced. I mean, we even look at this, bro. We have 12%. Like, yeah, it was the best deck. Basically the same we have now. But then it was 10, 8, 5, 5. It's basically like a bunch of 5s and 4s, bro. Or we really haven't had this, bro, because like if you go back to Mythical Island, for example, we had like 4 best decks. We had just Pikachu, Mewtwo, not Giratina, but Gyarados, and then we had the 2 Executor decks, and then we had like Charizard, kinda. And then obviously Genetic Apex, we had like the 3. We just had Mewtwo, Pikachu, and Charizard with the occasional Starmies and stuff like that. But like, I think Space Time and then Shining Revelry have been the best metas we've had. So I'm kind of hoping they just don't ruin it, bro, for the new set, because it kind of seems like we have like a good meta. Actually, I would say Mythical Island meta was pretty solid. I actually did genuinely like it. But Triumphant Light was just so bad, bro. So I have like PTSD. I don't want another meta like this, because literally Triumphant Light 20% usage, and then Genetic Apex has been the most highest dominant a deck has ever been. Because we've already seen Space Time, it was a 13% Celebi. And then Mythical Island, like Mewtwo was 70%, but I'm gonna be honest, I played in this format, it didn't feel like Mewtwo was the most impressive deck. I actually feel like Gyarados was more dominant, or at least in the tournaments that I entered. Yeah, so I really just hope the meta continues to be good. I think we have a variety of decks we can play. Obviously, you will probably perform the best by playing the best deck, but at the same time, there's more counters to this deck. And yeah, so there's like a range of like a 15 to top 10 decks you definitely can play and do good with. Obviously, you know, the higher you go up, like if you play like the top 5 decks, you'll do better. Like whereas if you play like the 10 to 5 range, you won't do as good and they won't be as consistent, dude. But there's just so many good decks. I just wanted to talk about it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed me yapping. Just wanted to get this out there because I've seen a lot of people talking crap about the meta. Like I said, I actually think it is very good from someone who's played in Triumphant Light and actually won a tournament in Triumphant Light. That meta was straight dog shit, bro. Anyways, peace out and have a lovely day. And let me know if you guys agree, because I'm kind of curious.